Hello fellow pipers, Janis here on this Wednesday evening. It's been a while. I was quite busy at work and also in my private part of the life, so really didn't have much time to do anything else. But today, after 16 days, usually I do it after 2 weeks, but after 16 days I will open the press with this Virginia Perique. Show you the results and cut and store the cakes and let them mature. So, how is your week going? Hope you're all well. Those of you who are not, I hope you will get better. And that you have some plans for the summer holidays. Now let us release this press here. So 2 times 200 grams of Virginia Perique, made out of Robert McConnell Virginia, this one, pure Virginia, 88%, and 12% of Den Tobacco's Torbendansk Special Blending Tobacco, Louisiana Perique. This one is made by Cop Tobacco, this one by Den Tobacco. I decided to take this one because I bought 1 tin of Perique and it was moldy. But the first time I had this so-called bad experience, let's say, but otherwise I'm very satisfied with Cop Tobacco. And most of you have already smoked their products like Red Ray, Robert McConnell, Ashley's, and so on and so on. So let me pause the video for a moment just to take out the cakes, show them to you, then I will cut them and I will share a bit more what are my plans for the end of June, beginning of July. Okay, here are the 2 cakes. So brighter Virginia, darker Perique. They all have the same, both cakes were made out of the same amount of Perique, and only the distribution seems to be a bit different. So this is it, and let me now cut this 2 cakes, put them in the jar, and we will continue with the video. So let me show you the 2 cakes that I cut. What I actually observe is that since this press is much stronger than the pipe-wise that I was using before, and I also have one to make again for maybe I don't know, some other pressings, or just to show how this is done. Let me show you now the cakes, the consistency inside the cakes. Sorry, look at this. I know that it makes your mouth water here. All you need to do is to have something to press, buy tobacco, or you maybe already have 1 or 2 or 3 that you want to either improve or upgrade or change or whatever, and this is the way how to do it. So think about it, make a recipe, or just decide, write it down, the amounts and the recipe, and then just go for it. I mean, pressing, mixing, blending tobacco, it's really fun. So these pieces are getting smaller and smaller, meaning that I'm pressing these cakes quite hard. With the small pipe wise, I was able to just press as much as I could, and at the end, if the tobacco was not moist too much, usually it wasn't, I was able to just rub it out with my hands. Here, I think that cutting a flake off what will not hurt. I don't think this one can be rubbed out just like that. Okay. This is now going for maturation for some time, at least a year, maybe 2. It will get a label, which is just I will do it later on. I will not do it this way. I don't know if you have noticed, but I'm wearing a Casio wristwatch. This is an 80s style watch. Those of you who are old or young enough or to remember this, or to actually wear one or had one, you will remember. Let me show it to you again. See the time, local time here, it's PM, 9:30, let's say. So Sylvia was kind enough, Vintage Pipes Nightmares, to send me a gift with a number of sweets, even some spices. So smoked red paprika powder that I will be happy to use and try. And of course, he sent me a new Casio watch. This one, I think he also has the one like this, and it's something, I don't know if we can call it vintage, something that we had when we were kids, let's say. I had one wristwatch that I received as a gift, and I was very curious how it works. So I took it apart, and it was a classical watch. You needed to wind and so on, and I took it apart, and of course didn't know how to put it together. I didn't even have tools and so on, so I destroyed it literally. And the next watches that I worn were like this, and later on in my teenage years I bought myself a sector chronograph that I still have. I just quite a long time, so I changed the belt to a leather one, and gave it, send it to or took it to the company that has a service to clean and so on the pipes. Sorry, clean the wristwatch, and did all the maintenance needed. But for like 30 years in between, I haven't worn the wristwatch. Now I do. Now I have 2 actually. So I didn't weigh the tobacco, but I know it's at least 200 grams per cake, and I added some moisture when I was hydrating the tobacco. Not a lot. This time the tobacco didn't came very dry, and the perique was quite moist. What I'm smoking is second-hand bookshop that Eaton Parsimonious Piper has mixed and sent it to me in this Cheriton X73 Acorn. I really like this pipe. For my taste, it looks really nice. It has a nice sandblast and a shape, and it smokes great. I know that I'm smoking, like Silvio says, but it smokes great. I have no problems. And I'm using it for Virginia Burleys. So, a part of me being busy and not having time really to and will to do some videos after the one that I showed how I started the pressing of this blend. This will be the second one, meaning that I already pressed 515 RC1 from Sutleaf, 88%, and McClelland blending Perique. I was airing out that 515 RC1 for, I don't know, a month or something, because it had a strong vinegar smell. So, in a couple of days, I will depart to Ireland. This time, my wife and I are taking also our kids, the two younger two kids. I mean, they are adults now, but they are kids. This generation of our kids is different than we were. But we are also those who are responsible for upbringing them the right way. So they're a little bit different. Their interest is not in just let's go and travel, but we want to have some specific things we want to see, and we are planning to depart Venice early in the morning on Friday. So meaning that we are going to be quite early in the morning in Dublin, renting a car, going to Dublin city center, and do a walk around tour around the Dublin, visit few shops. My plan is, and we don't have problems like me taking my son around, and my wife taking our daughter around, and so on. Because if they have some other plans to go and look for some stuff like clothing or whatever, I really don't need to be there. So, as I said, all the kids are 18 plus now, and maybe I will take my son to the Jameson Visitor Center to have that experience, or to Guinness Beer Factory in Dublin, and we will have a tour, and we have the whole day. Then we will meet for the lunch, or let's say early dinner or late lunch. I will go to James Fox of Dublin. I will visit Peterson store, and whatever the kids or wife will like to visit. Then we will depart towards Galway, so going west. Have a good night's sleep just outside Dublin, and then visiting Galway, and from Galway in the second morning, let's say, we will go south to Cliffs of Moher, and all the way down to the Cork. Stay there overnight, and slowly depart towards Waterford, which is actually our destination. Mosquitoes. And when we will depart Cork, we will drive by the Middleton distillery. So I'm planning to stop there in the Middleton distillery. Actually, I've been to Bushmills distillery, which is in the Northern Ireland already. I've been in the Tullamore distillery once. Okay, Jameson Visitor Center. So if you're visiting Dublin, there is no Jameson distillery in the Dublin anymore. It was in the past, I don't know how many decades ago, but now they just have like a visitor center where you can they can explain the process. You can see some old stills, and they will inform you about the history of the distillery and so on. And then you can, of course, also do the tastings of the whiskey and buy some whiskey and so on. But the whiskey itself is made in the Middleton distillery. So we are going to visit Middleton distillery on our way to my friend and his family that will host us for a week, and we will do the local tours there around Waterford and so on. Maybe go to Kilkenny and so on, and then just depart back through Venice airport. Venice is like 2.5 hours from where I live, so it's quite close. But so I could go there and every weekend if I wanted to. But I was there once. I had a really good time, and that's it. We are going to enjoy the landscape in Ireland. I really like the landscape. A part of the Connemara National Park where you have some, we say, some peaks that you can actually go and hike. Otherwise, it's like this. It's like you're on the waves. When you're driving through Ireland, it's like you're seeing the landscape passing by, just like waves. You see the cattle, you see the sheep, horses. We will eat a lot of black Angus beef on the grill, this way, that way. So I think we will have a really good time and a good way to relax before we will have the summer holidays that are going to be as usual on the Croatian coast. So I'm not going to drag too long. I've been absent. I know that you all have other things to do than to watch myself opening the press. As I said, I hope you're all doing well. And until we meet again, I wish you all a lot of pleasant smokes.